Guys, we're in the city of Guangzhou. This is not only a Chinese megacity, not only a megaport or a trade and economic center, but to some extent, Guangzhou is quintessential China. This city is the focal point of an incredible phenomenon. Several big cities all merged into one. Guangzhou itself, Shenzhen, Hong Kong, and Macau having created a mega city that has everything. High-tech, artisan factories, elite districts, and of course, slums. And today, by exploring Guangzhou, we'll try to understand what kind of a beast modern China is.
Good afternoon, sir.
Just like that, as soon as you get out of the cab, they're offering you watch duplicates. That thing over there, guys, behind my back, is officially the world's largest counterfeit market, here in Guangzhou. Let's go.
Very good. Yeah.
I've come to this shopping mall together with our tour, who recently relocated to work in China. Literally right in front of an enormous shopping mall, someone could come up and say, "Come with me, I'll sell you a whole bunch of fake stuff." This man's leading us somewhere to a warehouse. Guys, we are going down into some basement, and this is quite a basement, for real, with heaps and heaps of stuff. We're entering some sort of a showroom, and it's only us here. And it's packed with branded clothing. After seeing my camera, the seller shoves us out immediately. Finally, they brought us to some underground showroom. Okay, they don't want us to film it. All right, we're leaving. Okay. So this is the place with the real prices. Okay. Only here in these no-tourist showrooms can you find truly high-quality counterfeits at really low prices. We will make a separate overview of the global Chinese counterfeit market. Stay tuned and don't miss it. Our guide is taking us to another similar showroom.
Come on.
This is the first time I've seen a store with blurred showcases, while the store itself is closed and only select customers are allowed. They brought us to God knows where. It's a totally unidentifiable location, a basement, and this is where they have the store.
No.
They also didn't let us in because of the camera, but after a fair search, we eventually were able to find someone willing to open their doors to us. Guys, this is a real private store. Balenciaga. They sell all sorts of fakes. Balenciaga. What's this? Givenchy. This is Burberry. In locations like these, they don't sell mass products with strings sticking out and poor seam work. These are Class A counterfeits. If you think that all this goes to cheap marketplaces and tourist flea markets, you're wrong. These counterfeits are sold in elite boutiques all over the world. In 2022, the owner of an elite boutique in the state of New York had to pay a $40 million fine for selling counterfeit Gucci's and Louis Vuittons. In 2023, the same thing happened in Australia. Sometimes the expensive boutiques are unaware that their shelves are filled with fakes. This is a U.S. court press release. In 2016, it sentenced this woman with a tricky name, Propitious Matsorabad, who would buy original bags for thousands of dollars and then return fakes to the store and resell the originals. The stores couldn't tell the difference. That way, she managed to scam 60 points of sale and earned $400,000. However, the stores didn't suffer much as they still sold the returned items, believing them to be genuine. How's the quality?
The quality is super as far as I can tell. Very thick material.
Yeah, it's really thick. Real t-shirts.
And here, check this out. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just like...
I, for one, am not a big fan of the original, but...
Oh, yeah. Perfect seams, absolutely. Unlike other low-quality fakes, counterfeits like these don't cost mere pennies. Here's a funny thing, guys. Check it out. The counterfeit store even has a chair like Louis Vuitton. It's like, I'm sitting on your brand. We'll return to that counterfeit market for souvenirs. But first, let's taste a completely different China. Guys, we're in Shenzhen, a city that didn't even exist 40 years ago. And now this is one of the biggest megacities in the country, which is known as China's high-tech capital and the Chinese Silicon Valley. Shenzhen is an unbelievably green city. Check it out. The trees here are absolutely huge. I mean, you couldn't even tell that I am in fact in the city center, standing among these colossal skyscrapers. There are concrete high-rise buildings just like these all around here. But because of the sheer number of these huge trees and squares and some of these small parks, in alleys like this one, you don't feel trapped in a concrete box at all. Listen to this. Can you hear that silence? It's the city center. There is absolute silence here, and that is because of the sheer number of e-vehicles operating on the road. They make absolutely no noise. I mean, check it out. A car's approaching. But it makes no sound because it's electric, you know? You see that green plate? And there's another one too. A green license plate. And there's another e-vehicle marked with a green license plate. Electric vehicles do not make any extra noise. And that's why, in the city center, it feels like you're in a park somewhere. But the most amazing thing, guys, is that although electric cars here are cheaper and more economical and more convenient to drive and they have no restrictions and so on, there are still people who prefer gasoline-powered cars. They don't care. Whether it's more expensive, the wait's longer, they will wait for a month or two to get their driving license, and, nevertheless, they want a gasoline car. I think it speaks volumes about us as humans. But no way, no matter how hard it is, no matter how much I struggle, I will continue to live my life the way my grandparents did. The motorways are packed with unthinkable numbers of CCTV cameras that record violations and issue fines. Now, there are many other cities with traffic control CCTVs, but here they pop up every 10 to 15 meters. Local cameras give you a wink when they find you. There is a light that flares up and basically you know that you were caught on tape. Those cameras issue fines for everything, for the slightest violation. But not only for exceeding the speed limit or driving in the wrong lane, but also for holding your phone when you're driving, or for not fastening your seatbelt, or for not having a child seat. These cameras can detect everything. They see everything. And then they send you these happy letters with your fines. And of course, numerous cameras focus on face recognition. China is not just a global leader in outdoor CCTV surveillance, but also the first country to incorporate all cameras into a single automated tracking system. It will recognize you anywhere, even in the most unusual locations. Some fun facts about the Chinese facial recognition system. Check it out. I am at an airport, and this is the flight timetable. Now I come closer to it, and it recognizes my face. And look, it gives me my data. My gate and how to get to it, my flight number, it knows everything about me. Now, mind you, I haven't officially shared my biometric data anywhere here, and I'm not entirely sure how they got it in the first place. Now, they must have taken a video of me at the check-in desk, or when I arrived in China for the first time, and then it's just been sitting in some shared database ever since then. They scan for your biometric data all the time. For instance, when you enter the subway. That means the police know not only how many people are currently underground, but who exactly is on the train at any given moment. The subway security is very tough. They can frisk you at the subway entrance, and police officers are armed with helmets, shields, and special feelers to restrain the mob and pluck out the most active protesters. Many stations have these blast containers to defuse bombs. However, Chinese police officers, including those who do the frisking, are perfectly okay with being filmed, because why not? There are 500 cameras here filming them from every angle. I mean, just look, there are cameras all over the place. There's one there, 5 or 6 there, one down there, and another. They're used to it. There's more than 1 billion CCTV cameras in the country, and given that there is a single messenger here, WeChat, with a single payment system linked to it, by combining all of this data, you can learn with incredible precision what, where, and when every single person was doing something, what they talked about, and with whom. On the upside, residents don't need to worry, as no one will break into their homes. Street crime is almost zero. But that's not all. Public transport and taxi drivers in big cities are being monitored via face recognition software to prevent fatigue, and if they fall asleep, they send them home. So public transportation is safer. There's a sea of examples like this. Now, if you think about this rationally, it seems that there is nothing bad about the fact that the airport knows what you look like. At the end of the day, we share our photos and geolocations on our own all the time, and we post a lot of stuff on social media, so you can learn a lot of things about us anyway. Ultimately, the goal is to enhance public safety and drive comfort and convenience, and it really is comfortable and convenient. Or at least that's what I think. Despite all the fines and cameras, the Chinese break the rules anyway. There are some rules that everybody knows can be broken. For example, this sign here, stopping or parking is strictly prohibited. The yellow line also means that you can't park here. But check it out, all the spaces are filled. Every single one, nobody cares. There are a lot of myths about the Chinese surveillance and fine system, largely created by international media giants. For instance, the global media has been scaring us with the Chinese social rating system for nearly 10 years now.
Wherever Ouyangpa goes, she's being closely watched. What she buys, how she behaves, is tracked and scored to measure how responsible and trustworthy she is as an individual.
The problem is that within China, nobody has ever heard about such a system. It's pure fiction. Social rating systems with likes for good deeds and dislikes for bad deeds do not exist in China.
I told my wife about it. My wife is Chinese. I said, they've been talking about a social rating system in China on the news. I translated it, explained what it was about. She laughed out loud. She nearly fell off her chair. And then she said something that cracked me up. She said, if there was such a rating, our daughter's score would be -200. And I'm like, yeah, sure.
So if you help an old lady cross the street, nobody's going to give you points.
No.
Throw in a
No.
like to your rating?
No.
And then you pee on a tree, minus
No.
a like, a dislike?
No.
Maxime has lived in China for more than 15 years. All right, is it true that if they identify you with their facial recognition system while you're crossing the road,
No,
if you litter in
no.
the street, bam, you get a fine?
No. Those who have never been to China believe all sorts of nonsense, but those who have understand that it's all rubbish, in fact.
For such a big country, the Chinese infrastructure has really reached incredible heights, and that not only concerns mega constructions, but also the smaller details. This is Guangzhou railway station. Now check it out, entire rows of massage chairs. I know they lost their shock factor a while ago, and they're still in lots of airports, but look at the sheer number here. And unlike most other places where they're installed, in China, they are genuinely used. Like, check it out, how many people there are actually sitting in them and having their backs massaged. The railway station itself is vast and clean. You see children are running around and playing on their own. Nobody is afraid that something will happen to them. There's drinking water available everywhere, both cold and hot. This is a typical situation. A Chinese person went to the grocery store, bought some instant noodles, and poured some hot water in them at the railway station. Because why go to a restaurant when you can just sit wherever you want and eat it? And in fact, it's easy and it's fast. And you know, it's tasty too. hot water is available at all airports. The Chinese high-speed train network, now that's a whole nother story. It's not just that they can go faster than 300 kilometers per hour, but rather it's the sheer number of them. High-speed trains commute between big cities every 15 to 20 minutes, but they even connect smaller towns. China has the world's longest high-speed train track network, spanning over nearly 40,500 kilometers. So you get the big picture. Spain comes in second, with high-speed tracks 11 times shorter. In Japan, they're 12 times shorter. In the US and Russia, there are no high-speed train tracks at all, and the trains that are called high-speed crawl at the speed of the average Chinese underground trains. Yes, China has high-speed subways inside its cities. Guys, this is the first high-speed subway I have ever traveled by. As the train picks up speed, my ears are popping for real. And check this out, they even have a warning here that this is a high-speed train. So, please hold on to the rails, because when it accelerates, you can really feel it. This is the subway of Shenzhen, China's Silicon Valley, and it's still not the fastest. There are wireless phone chargers in the cars, which I think is overkill, and you can safely leave your phone to charge. In Shanghai, I did it all the time. I'd sit a long way from my charging device without a care in the world, and I won't even bother doing any stealing experiments because you already know the result. Different Chinese cities seem to be competing with each other and enhancing their subway. In Chengdu and Chongqing, for instance, the railway cars have, wait for it, split climate control systems. Check it out, guys. The railway stations have trains with these kind of setups. You see, these cars here are cooler, and cars 13 through 24 have warmer temperatures. So you see, guys, within one train, there are cars with different temperatures. Those who want a cooler climate go to one set of cars, and then those who want something warmer go to another set of cars. What are you Chinese even doing? What are you doing? Here, guys, check this out. How the Chinese pay attention to detail. The line that I'm on is red, and these handles here are also red. That barrier there is also red. The entire design is red. The same goes for the orange line and any other, the blue, the green, whatever. Many stations don't look like stations, but rather like some international airports with vast halls and waiting lounges. The main problem with having such a huge hall for a subway entrance is finding a spot to sell tickets from. It's totally unclear where that spot is here. You could spend half your day wandering around this place and still not find it. Look at the number of levels in this subway. There's the lower level, here's the middle one, and up above, there's yet another level. These are all railway platforms, you see? These are all intersecting lines. Hold on, I'm that way. Rush hour, Guangzhou subway, all hell's gonna break loose. Check it out. As soon as the doors open, people on the platform start lunging forward, not letting anybody get out of the rail car. In China, you don't normally offer your seats to others. Instead, you just wedge in front of the guy in front of you. For instance, everyone's waiting for the train in line. Bam! This girl just steps forward and takes first place. Look at this. The people who are standing behind start bursting forward. That girl stood behind me, but now she's jumped ahead of me. All right, it's getting pretty snug in here, guys. It's my first time on the Chinese subway in rush hour. Truth be told, in Moscow, I had it worse. There's not much air to breathe, but I'll live. I'll hold my breath till the next stop. In China, they can start wedging in front of you in a line for the cashier or for coffee or wherever. You just have to get used to it. Just as you have to get used to most foreign services being banned in the country, while local ones don't always work as expected. In China, it looks as if everything is intentionally made to complicate things for foreign tourists. For instance, all foreign map services are banned here, while the local ones are all in Mandarin only. And you can't search for it with the Roman alphabet. If you want to go somewhere, you have to punch in the characters. Do you know how to write Chinese characters in the app?
I'm so fucking cute, bitch.
They have Pinyin, a letter-based version of the language. But why can't you use it in the app by default? Why can't you punch in letters in a map service by default? It's all in Mandarin. Not a single thing is translated. There's a lot of information there, which intersection to go to, which platform to choose, but you can't understand anything. One would think translating a mobile app into any language would be really easy in the 21st century. But in South Korea also, foreign map apps are banned, and you must use the local Kakao map. However, it also has versions in other foreign languages. So, in general, Chinese apps are hands down inferior to their foreign competitors, and that is precisely because they have no foreign competitors in the local market. They exist in a kind of silo here. All of the Chinese here believe their mobile applications are the best and the most convenient there are. Just like in the USSR, they thought that the Volga was the best car on the planet. But, in fact, it wasn't. Let's take WeChat that people talk about a lot. It's a total disaster. Now, if you, for example, are used to swiping to answer other people's messages, forget it. There is no swiping for you here. There's no such thing. If you're used to quick reactions, putting a like or a smiley on a message, nope, nothing of the sort. There are no video messages. There is a whole lot of these small things missing here. The things we're so used to having in other messengers that we don't even notice they're there. And then you open WeChat and you're like, oh my God, this is some kind of ICQ from like 2007, you know? That's what lack of competition can do to the world. Because WeChat has no rivals in the country. They just thought, come on, people used this thing back in 2007. It was all right. It works like a charm. Why bother changing anything? Are you kidding me? This, guys, is the heart of Shenzhen, the Golden Land. Well, no, not gold. Gold is too cheap for this. It's platinum. It's diamond. Let's say apartments in those high-rise buildings start at $1.5 million and then skyrocket into outer space. And here, right next to these incredibly expensive apartments, there is the largest slum district in the city, a ghetto for workers. Let's go. Check out the rides in this place. Guys, here is a normal parking lot in the Shenzhen slums. There's a Land Cruiser, a Mercedes, a Cadillac over there, a Lexus. BYD is a top Chinese electrical vehicle. Oh, and check it out. That's how they deal with bad parking. They stick these warnings on their windshields. Another Mercedes. Ah, V-Turbo. What a beauty, right? A BMW, a Neo, an expensive Chinese e-car. Again, a BMW, a Mercedes, one more Mercedes, and that is how Shenzhen slum residents live.
I have a friend in China. He's Chinese. The building he lived in was to be demolished. They offered him $2 million for his apartment.
$2 million?
For an old one, like the one you just saw. You see, they're all in the same place, in the same district, with skyscrapers all around. I said, $2 million is cool. You could, well, your parents could buy 1 or 2 apartments in Shenzhen, and there would still be some money left. You know what he told me? He told me that a new apartment in the new building that is to be erected here will cost $4 to $5 million. He said better we wait and resell if the chance arises.
You mean that all these residents of these slums,
they're waiting.
Sooner or later they'll get a 7-figure dollar transfer to their accounts?
Yeah, they're waiting. And they'll definitely get it.
Wow, guys, I mean, with this setup, living in the slums, it's not such a bad idea, right? I mean, if you know that you're gonna be a millionaire in the next 3 years or 10 years max.
Well, we had a story here in Shenzhen, the most expensive spot, the slums too. Everything was horrible there. There was a god-awful stench from the sewers. It was the most expensive spot because down there, people got $5 to $7 million for their old apartments.
In China, as it's well known, they build stuff fast and in large quantities. So fast and in such quantities that while apartments in big city centers cost millions of dollars, these suburbs are haunted by these new ghost builds. Unlike most ghost towns on Earth that appear because people haven't moved out of them yet, these ghost towns appear because people have yet to move into them. There are two sides to that problem. On the one hand, it's a big problem for construction companies and recently almost triggered a crisis throughout the whole Chinese economy. One of the biggest local developers simply couldn't sell everything it built and accumulated a lot of debt. On the other hand, for many ordinary Chinese citizens, it means that there is a vast supply on the housing market, which drives down prices. And in some regions, even people with minimal salaries can save up for a flat in 2 years. I mean, just think about it. Where you're living now, if someone earns minimum wages, couriers, porters, would they be able to put aside all their income and save up for a flat in 2 years? All right, guys, we're going to film some prices in a Chinese store. This is a standard supermarket. The prices are moderate here. I mean, it's not some elite store. Okay, let's start with milk. A carton of standard milk, 24 yuan. No, here's a cheaper one, 19 yuan. Even a bit lower, 18.6 yuan. Here is some sausage for you. This 200-gram pack costs 33 yuan. Some chips here. Well, check it out. These are nice. 15.5 yuan. Apples. Oh, no, those aren't apples. Those are quinces as far as I'm concerned. 6 yuan, 8 yuan for each. And that's for half a kilo. And that's right, guys. Watch out. That's for half a kilo. In Chinese supermarkets, the price tags indicate the price for half a kilo, not a kilo, so be careful. Tomatoes, 4 yuan for these. These are more expensive ones, 5 yuan, but again for half a kilo. This means 10 yuan per kilo. Small potatoes, the good stuff, 4 yuan for half a kilo, 8 yuan for a kilo. Alex came to China 17 years ago. He owns a Russian cuisine restaurant.
When I first came here, they used phones without screens.
Since then, a lot has changed in China. Huge megacities sprung up. Many gigantic local brands emerged. Nearly 800 million Chinese citizens climbed above the poverty line. Now China is a country with a large middle class.
The Chinese mindset has not changed.
The mentality hasn't changed?
Only the younger generation, the one that's growing up. For them, it's more about games. They're phone zombies, staring at their screens. Working is hard for them. They don't know how to work.
So this whole stereotype about the uber hardworking Chinese is about those aged 30 plus, right?
Actually, I recently came across some statistics by Bloomberg and the like. China is trying to keep it a secret. 30% of Chinese aged 16 to 26 are unemployed or have just got hired. So they have a very high unemployment percentage globally because they're all hooked on games. Or they make video blogs, and I can't really say whether there is any money in it.
Okay, well, that's what I'm saying. The hardworking are Chinese who are 30 and older because traditionally the Chinese are
50 to 60 plus.
60 plus.
Yeah. Our best worker is a lady who washes the dishes and makes dumplings. She's a jack of all trades. And I've heard from other guys in companies that the best worker is usually some old man who performs all his duties, comes to work 1 hour early, leaves 1 hour late, and helps everybody else who makes a mistake.
This means these grandpas and grandmas are the people who have created the modern China over the last 40 years. So over the years that you've lived here, what was the most drastic change in China?
China is constantly changing. Let me give you an example. I live and do business around Shenzhen on a daily basis. I didn't pass by one district for a month, and when I did, there was a new street, a new building, a new shopping mall. I don't know, they're eternally building bridges, so China is evolving all the time.
Max and I are going back to Shenzhen for him to show me how the Chinese counterfeit smartphone market works.
There are even some original boxes here. Original boxes with original seals, even legit IMEIs. If Apple catches wind of what's going on here,
they're all gonna go bald like me. But this is a story for another episode on China.
Mind you, they used to say that if something is made in China, it's the bad stuff. We've just passed by Haiti Lab, a chain of Chinese drink stores, but it's very well made, right? We just dropped in.
Ah, like a Chinese coffee house, right?
It's classy. Take Huawei. Check out all the drama. A Neo store. Neo cars have high quality, but high prices too. Huawei's are no cheaper than iPhones either. There used to be no well-recognized Chinese brands, and now a lot of them are springing up. Here's a DJI store, for instance.
So you mean that Chinese brands are rapidly growing bigger globally, right?
Popular globally. And this is only the beginning of their rise in the foreign market.
So you think this is only the beginning? This isn't like the end? I mean, they haven't reached their limit yet?
The beginning happened long ago. It has been largely fueled by the country itself. Their country. China has helped them develop, and they have achieved their success. Now they're expanding to global markets.
So, but everybody says that China is slowing down and this whole growth era is over. Why are you laughing?
No comment here. Slowing down. Just look around you, man. Slowing down. New buildings pop up here every week. I mean, come on.
So you mean as if you'd try to slow down like this?
Well, it must be some kind of joke, right? Slowing down.
It's what everyone says.
I'm laughing so hard I'm crying. Nah, come off it. I mean, slowing down.
So what do you think? Is China slowing down, or is it vice versa, picking up speed? In our second episode, I'll be showing how the Chinese province lives.
Two foreigners in the middle of nowhere in an RV fucking cruising.
We'll take a peek at real life in a Shaolin temple. As you clench your fist, the master is watching you. If you clench it like this, you see, thumbs on the ground, that's it. You can get a baton smack on the back, like instantly. I was astonished at what I heard from the monks in training, and I'll show you Shanghai, a Shanghai that you have never seen in your life. So subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out. I'll answer your comments myself. All right, we're heading out.